जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेव महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. My divine homage and salutation and prostration to at the lotus feet of Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj. My divine homage, salutation and prostration at the lotus feet of Swami Chidananda Maharaj. Even though they have left their mortal coil, but the footprint of the soul itself is so profound and powerful, still lives and breathes within us. As I say that, I get goosebumps. I had very close proximity of feeling the presence of Gurudev himself. So my prayer and my salutation and prostration to the monks present here, my adoration and reverence to Dr. Greenfield, honoring us for today for this great occasion, celebrating the centenary of Gurudev himself. Swami Chidananda was a mystic saint of non-duality order of Sankaracharya tradition. So I'll begin saying that we all study scriptures of our respective faith and traditions and religion. But since time immemorial, if you recollect, since the start of your life until now, that time and again, certain very profound, powerful, perfect souls have descended to the planet. Not only they carry the charismatic power to teach and preach those scriptures that was revealed or written, but also they exemplify that in their living every word of it in their action, so that us, the common man, the individual souls that have not reached to that extent, literally see them in that close proximity and begin to connect the dot. That itself is a profound beginning. And that's the divine exposition. Every time I came in contact with Swamiji, I felt it. Today in this assembly, one thing reminds me, when Swamiji would sit there and address the assembly, he would begin by saying, "Radiant immortal Atman, blessed children of the divine." What a profound address it was. At once it would touch. I have seen even many people literally coming to the tears when Swamiji says that. Radiant immortal Atman, blessed children of the divine. He sees him in all. The very foundation, the very bedrock of his belief, he also lived that. Sakshi cheta kevala nirgunasya ego deva sarva bhutesu gudaha. One single divine principle hidden in every individual. It pervades the both living and non-living beings on this planet. And that's how he would begin to address. In the same spirit, my salutation and prostrations goes out to all the divine presence, the universal consciousness seated in your heart that has brought to you to celebrate the life journey of such an illustrious saint. I congratulate and also I salute for that august thinking. I would recite very small verses of our Sanatana Dharma scriptures as to how the Guru Bandhanas are offered and how exactly the illustrious exemplification of the master should be. It goes by like this, that Brahmanandam Paramashukadam Kevalam Jnanamurti. Brahmanandam, the perceptors who can only be the giver of Brahmanandam, the absolute bliss, Paramasukadam, the absolute bliss, Brahmanandam, Paramasukadam, Kevalam Jnanamurti. He is the only bestower of the knowledge. He is the only bearer of the knowledge, that absolute knowledge of the consciousness. Brahmanandam, Paramasukadam, Kevalam Jnanamurti. Dundatitam is beyond all the conflict, inner conflict, beyond all pair of opposites, joy and sorrow, happy and sad. All that aspect that we deal with in every aspect, day-to-day life, that we were ever caught up in that quagmire of that inner conflict, he's beyond all that. Dundatitam, Gagana Shadrusam. His exuberance presence on this planet is as vast as our eyes can go beyond the horizon. He's expansive. And yet, pulsates in every aspect of life. Dundatitam Gagana Shadrusham Tattvam Asadi Laksham. This is the Mahavakya. Tat Tvam Asi Adi Laksham. The very aspect of that, I am not this, I am that. It's science in him. That's how exactly Swami Chidananda was. His compassion and kindness to a life, love towards life, is holistic. The very essence of his being was that my essential nature is to love. Like how a rose flower, no matter what, radiates fragrance. And it may be approached differently by a different person, but yet the essential nature is love. That's how he lived his life. And it touched upon me, that very cardinal principles ushered me from my childhood to the adulthood and continuously guided me as a North Star, living from India to Middle East to this country. I kept on meeting with Swamiji while I was in Delhi as a student. From 87 to 94, with a constant visit, Swamiji would come to Delhi. And I have seen, no matter what dignitaries would fall on his feet like a matchstick, I would stand back and be amazed. What is it exactly? So not only that, he was a profound teacher of all of Vedantas, but he lived that life. Everybody he touched felt that vibration within them. As I said, all his address to the mankind still reverberates in every one of us. That literally draw me as gravitated me towards him like a magnet. Not me, as many. I have seen many in that sense. Then, if I have to really think of some of his humbleness, its colossal magnitude humbleness, it's very difficult to even think a human being can be of such a humble nature. I will recite a few examples. Although I had not traveled with Swamiji so frequently to different places, unlike Swami Yati Dharmanandji, his personal secretary used to be back in the days, Swami Ram Sarupji, and I was in very close interaction with him. He would tell me some examples, very heart-touching. One time, Swamiji was in Australia. He was picked up from the airport and escorted by a Mataji to go to her house. After that, he was supposed to address assembly. On the way, as the automobile progressed towards the destination, on the way, all of a sudden the Mataji realizes there is some deep weeping sound is coming from the back seat, and Swamiji is sitting there. She turns back and sees that Swamiji is literally crying, weeping like a child. She was frightened. What did I do anything wrong? She immediately pulled the car to the sideway of the highway and fell prostrated at the Swamiji's feet saying, Swamiji, what happened? Anything did I do wrong? Swamiji looked at, there is a little doll was hanging off of really the doll's hair tied up to the mirror. Look at how much of pain that little doll is going through right now, the little girl is right now. What would be so nice that you put a nice swing underneath it and she can sit there then tying up from the hair. He saw literally the life in that. That's how the Swami Chidananda was that, right? He says one single divine principle is hidden in all beings, that all beings is inclusive, both living and non-living. Sakshi cheta kevala nirgunasya ekadeva sarva bhuteshu graha. Isavasam idam sarvam. Both animated, non-animated. These are Sanatana principles, but he lived it. Isavasam idam sarvam. Both animated, non-animated. Everything that is manifested in this entire cosmos is contained in me. As you see me in all. So he felt life in that little doll. Then it was immediately taken off the mirror. Next morning, again, same Mataji, when escorted him to the assembly, she really felt a big sigh or a breath of relief and contentment. Again, she looked at Swamiji. Swamiji answers that, oh, what a great relief. Now the little child can sit on a swing. That was the height of, the colossal, magnanimous height of humbleness of Swami Chidanandaji. So therefore, time to time, such an illustrious soul is literally kept in front of us. Not only that, they tread the path as they sojourn, for a little time, whatever the life they live on this planet, that example is right in front of us, that as much as we listen from them to learn Vedantas, to learn yoga, but also see them in action, so that a little step we take forward, that is the shower of such a grace on us, that of course we will be humble, we'll be loving everybody. With that, I would conclude my little speech, that opportunity that was given to me, speak about Swamiji. Pranam. Before I leave, I have captured some of his teachings in a very summary manner. Few of his teachings, I'll quickly read this out. Some of them are very divine, subtle, sublime, abstract, and some of them are very pragmatic principles. Not only that he lived, but also it was very evident in his teaching that everyone should take and live. What exactly is the human being? Is the highest order of birth in the creation. He said, human being is the portal to know, be the realm of absolute. What is, it is all that is. All is just as it ever is. Whatever is, that is always there as it is. It is just is. You cannot acquire knowledge because you are the knowledge. Very profound, very profound. Purnam adam, purnam midam, purnat, purnamudachyate, purnasya, purnamadaya, purnameva vasishyate. It's complete here, it's complete there. It's the completeness which is born out of the completeness. If you take the completeness out of it, what remains is complete. Today, Swamiji is talking about his master used to bless every disciple coming to him that you live for 100 years. What is the essence of it? By way of saying that you live a complete life. Purnam, it is Purnam. Then he says, what I am, my essential inner soul, is indestructible, immovable, changeless, formless, all-pervading, eternal, absolute reality, witness, consciousness. That's what I am, my essential nature. I am the eternal, primordial being. I do not perish with the demise of this body. Ajonita sashvatam prana nahanyate hanyamane. I am Sachidananda, existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. I am Sakshi, Cheta, Kevala, Nirgunasya, Ekadeva, Sarva, Bhut, Sadgudaha. Thou art the one divine principle hidden in all beings. What I have become, it is the deviation from the center. What I become is the manifestation of sanskaras, the deep impression and tendencies, the accumulated action, sanchita karma, attached to me, that my true essence, what I am. I pray all-pervading, all-permeating, and all-beholding Brahman to annihilate sanskaras and liberate me from all darkness, so that I reach to my own source, that I am. The pristine consciousness, akarta, sakshi bhava. I am not the doer, I am the witness consciousness. Essence of yoga, he says, separation is impossible. Actually, yoga, in a very basic meaning, is in Gita it is said that Mamo Vansa Jiva Loka Jiva Buddha Sanatana. It is the portion of me has come down to manifest in the individual soul. But the essential nature of the individual soul is to unite back, and that is the essence of yoga. You unite with your companion, essential companion, which is the supreme consciousness. Therefore, certain principles of yoga have been taught by the seers of our human lineage, Sanatana Dharma, but essentially, separation is impossible. For he abides within you as your innermost self, and you abide in him. You cannot abide anywhere else, for he is infinite, all-pervading, omnipresent. Bliss is a perennial state between cognitive exuberance and exuberance with inherent cognizance without the knowledge of mind. The exaltation is transparent and definitive. Ishavashamidam sarvam, we talked about that. Then many times his teachings are, the prayer that we really participated with was very soul uplifting. Very this moment that you would feel that you are literally in the presence of something very different. Something is very different wafting through you, that you are feeling a different side of yours. Very that minute, it has created a void, not attaching you to your the actions and activities driven by your senses. He says, I'm a gigantic, colossal dispensation by the divine. I'm a soul unstoppable juggernaut that refuses to stay confined to the limiting urgents, that is, the names and forms, mind, body, senses, tendencies, and the upadhis, the titles that we carry with us, that I'm falsely embodiment of. So, O Lord, please liberate me to a height designed by you such that everything else appears dwarf. Tumeva kevalam kartasi, tumeva kevalam dhartasi, tumeva kevalam hartasi. He is the only dweller, he is the only protector, he is the only destroyer. But yet, in spite of all the sublime transcendental knowledge, pragyanam brahmam, as it said in our Shastra, that has been beckoned to the posterity by the ancient seers from the primordial past, we still navigate the ocean of pain, suffering, and vagaries of our life. That's the quagmire. Every soul coming down to conditioning with matter tries to solve and evolves in every birth until he attains unity with his ultimate source and companion, the supreme absolute bliss and consciousness. Then he says, all he leads to me hear and learn are auspicious. All he leads me to see and perceive are auspicious. Again, by way of saying how he literally saw that his own soul in every one of us, says, Mamoy vansa jiva loka jiva buddha sanatana, the timeless one, a part of him, comes into this world, becoming the individual soul. By this eternal principle declared by the Lord himself, in very essence, I am a divine spark, not a dark, inert matter. Descend from thee, notwithstanding the morass of life exerted upon me, lest the temporal interaction. So, O Lord, may you accept my soul unconditionally. Due to this lesser, obscuring consciousness, you are not able to experience and feel the essential spiritual connection between you and Supreme Source of your being. But again and again, the scriptures declare there has never been a separation. It is impossible, for he abides within you, your innermost self, and you abide in him. You cannot abide anywhere else, for he is infinite, all-pervading, and omnipresent. Hari Om Tat Sat.